A very good evening everyone. Welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about Indian polity. And basically this series is called as Prelims Possible, as it is based on a book that is specially published by Arihant, and this is called as Prelims Possible Student. So here we are going to start this session, and one very important thing, this session is going to help you, those who are preparing for any state PSC examination as well as for the UPSC examination. And students, in the today's session we are going to discuss about the directive principle of state policy. And see, as we already discussed, this session is especially designed for those who are going to participate in UPSC as well as any state PSC students. One very important thing, this session is going to help you in the prelims as well as in the mains, and basically this book contains lots of features. So it is going to be a right choice for your better journey. Okay, another very important thing, those who are very new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, as well as share this video with your friends also. And as you see, students, this book has some unique thing, that is basically this book is divided into chapters, and that chapter is divided into topics. And students, there is a topic based mind map, and there will be MCQ related to that topic. Okay, along with that there will be MCQs that was previously asked, and there is a very great explanation added by this Arihant. And see, there is a knowledge plus for the typical question, and in the last of this book you will get the 3500 plus PYQ bullets. So it is going to help you a lot in your preparation. Now students, we are going to start today a very new and fresh topic, that is directive principle of state policy. And before starting this, we need to discuss what is directive principle of state policy. Student, as we already discussed, there is a fundamental right, and fundamental right is available to individual. Okay, it is available to individual, and fundamental right doing what? It is creating limitation on state activity. Okay, it is creating limitation on state activity, and it is enforceable in court of law. Okay, what you find, students, in our Constitution of India also, basically there are some direction given to state. Okay, means to government, to the state executive. Okay, what you find, there are some direction given under the Constitution. If they are going to create, means who, basically state, if going to create any law, they must try to include basically the direction given under the directive principle of state policy of Indian Constitution. But it is very important to understand, it is not enforceable. DPSP is not enforceable. It is not enforceable in court of law. Why? Basically, as you see, let's suppose I am giving you okay, every day you have to study 8 hours. Okay, I am just giving a direction to you for your examination. You have to study 8 hours every day, but maybe you are not able to do same. Why? Because maybe you are a working professional, maybe you are a person who is not getting time. So in that case, students, it doesn't mean that I am going to beat you. Okay, because you all are mature, and this is your responsibility, how you are basically covering it. Okay, so I just given a direction. If you are going to following the same direction, then the condition is going to be ideal for your selection. In the same format, students, under the directive principle of state policy, it is included, and this is a direction that is given to state. If state, while they are formulating any policy, any law, any rule, if they are going to include these direction, it is going to be good for the society, and as it is for the upliftment of the socially, economically and educationally backward community. So this is going to be a socio as well as socio-economic concept, and it is going to do one thing, that is promoting the welfare state. Okay, so now it is just simple directive principle of state policy. It is simply, it is direction given to state while they are formulating any law, any policy. They must try to try to, it is not enforceable. They must try to include the directions given under the directive principle of state policy, students. So what you find, basically this this portion is derived from the Ireland. Okay, so we derived this concept from the Ireland, and basically it is enshrined in part 4 of Indian Constitution, and it is between article 36 to 51. What you see, students, according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, basically this is called as novel feature of Indian Constitution, as well as part 3 and part 4 of Indian Constitution is called as cornerstone of Indian Constitution. Okay, so this is also very important. And as I told you, students, ki basically directive principle of state policy, it is just a direction. It is just a direction. It is not enforceable. So in that case, basically it's depend on if state have resources. As I told you, if you have time, then you are going to read, otherwise you are going to deny. In the same format, students, if state has resources, then they are going to follow the directions given under the DPSP. Okay, so what you see, DPSP is non-enforceable. Okay, and it is basically enshrining the socio-economic democracy, students. Okay, along with that, basically constitutional instruction to legislature, executive, and administration of the state. Okay, for the conscience of constitution. Okay, so this is also called as conscience of constitution by the Granville Austin. So these are the some key comments that is mentioned by some specific researchers or the authors, students. What is the objective of directive principle of state policy in our Indian Constitution? As I told you, basically welfare state creation, development of the socially, educationally, economically backward community. So high ideals, independence and equality. Okay, so feature of directive principle of state policy: not enforceable in court of law, non-justificable and non-self-executing, students. Okay, easy. So it is not going to be enforceable in court of law. And students, this is not included in Constitution, but yes, we divided directive principle of state policy into 3 major classes. Okay, one is basically socialist principle, those who are discussing about the welfare of the state, okay, welfare of the people. Gandhian principle, what during the freedom struggle, what Gandhi ji suggested, what he mentioned, what his ideology was there. So these type of concept is also included under the directive principle of state policy. As Gandhi ji means he was multiple time discussing about the Swaraj, and he also comment that Swaraj will come when every person is going to feel independent. Along with that, students, he said that up to the lower unit, means panchayat. So he more focused on the panchayat. So panchayat is the principle. It is a Gandhian principle. Then Western liberal intellectual. So there are some conceptual thing also that is mentioning about the laws and other thing like uniform civil code, and these type of things included under the liberal intellectual principle here. I hope you are getting it. Now students, on the basis of this, we are going to discuss MCQs. So this mind map is going to help you a lot. So stay tuned, and we already discussed what are the important points related to it. Now we are going to solve MCQs, and basically this chapter contains 2 topics. Sorry. So we will see the topic once again after the means another topic after the completing MCQs of this session. Okay, so now just move to the MCQs and let's solve each and every MCQs in detailed format. So this was in Manipur PSC in year 2010. So the directive principle are enshrined in the Constitution in which of the following part, students? Part 1 of Indian Constitution, Part 2 of Indian Constitution, Part 3 of Indian Constitution, as well as Part 4 of Indian Constitution. So where the directive principle of state policy is included. As you know, students, Part 1 of Indian Constitution is mentioning about the Union and its territory. Okay, and there is an article from 1 to 4. Okay, Then we have part 2 in our Indian Constitution, that is about citizenship. Okay, and it contained article from 5 to 11. Then part 3 is about the fundamental right, and it contained article from 12 to 35. Okay, part 4 is about the directive principle of state policy, and this concept we derive from Ireland, we already discussed. And why the directive principle of state policy is there? It is the directions to policy makers, means to state. Okay, and it contained article from 36 to 51 of Indian Constitution, students. I hope you all getting it. So if you feel doubt, just tell me. Okay everyone, very good Gaurav. So option D is going to write for the same. And as I told you students, this book contains lots of information. There is a very great explanation for each and every question in this book. So I'm just going to show you, as well as I will read the same explanation for your better understanding. Okay, so answer D is right, as directive principle are enshrined in part 4 of Indian Constitution, article from 36 to 51. So the directive principles help the court in examining and determining the constitutional validity of a law, while part deal with the cities, union and its territory. Part 2 deals with the citizenship, part 3 deals with the fundamental right. So we already discussed about the same, but yes, I'm just trying to give this so you guys must understand it. Okay, now we are moving towards the next question, that is directive principle of state policies are. Okay, it was in UPPSC, MPPSC. So it is justiciable, non-justiciable, fundamental right, or none of the above. Student, justiciable means you can go to court for the implementation of any specific article. Okay, and their enshrined thing. Okay, so justiciable is fundamental right. So fundamental right is justiciable. No one can take away your fundamental right. Okay, except few conditions, like there is a national emergency, and there is only condition in the national emergency if there is a foreign attack or we are in war condition. In that case, your fundamental right is going to be suspended. Okay, and there is a provision also which of the means which rights can be suspended, but there is exception to article 20 and 21 never be suspended. Okay, non-justiciable means you can't go to court for the enforcement of the same. And students, directive principle, it is directions, so it's depend on the resources. If I have resources, I can give you classes for 2.5 hours. If I don't have resources, then I'm not going to give the same, students. I hope you all getting it. So directive principle of state policy is non-justiciable, and that's why answer B is going to be right for the same. Okay, so we already discussed about the same, and where it is mentioned, students, so it is mentioned under article 37. Okay, here they are mentioning basically article 37, application of DPSP, directive principle of state policy. It means that here basically they included that directive principle is not enforceable in court of law. Okay, easy. Now see the third question. It was in UP exam multiple time. So in Indian Constitution, the idea of directive principle of state policy has been taken from the Constitution of which country? Student, we already discussed a chapter, sources of Indian Constitution. Okay, and we already discussed about this. So Ireland, Canada, South Africa and Australia. So from where we derive the directive principle of state policy? Okay, from South Africa we derive the concept named as constitutional amendment. Okay, and it is included under part 20 of Indian Constitution, article 368. Okay, so it is constitutional amendment. It is derived from South Africa. Then from Australia we derive the joint setting. We derive the basically this separation of power. Okay, and concurrent list. Okay, and from Ireland we derive this concept of directive principle of state policy. Okay, so Ireland is same answer for, it means right answer for the same. We can do one thing as we already discussed in the mind map, so we can mark and go, but I just want to give explanation too, so you guys can get the data. Okay, and it is going to help you. So I'm just giving a quick outline of the basically provision that we derive from the other country. So Indian Constitution, the ideas of directive principle of state policy is derived from the Irish Constitution, and basically they copied from Spanish Constitution. And from basically Canada we borrowed lots of provision like federation with a strong center, vesting of residuary power in the center, appointment of state governors by the center, advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. And we derive basically constitution amendment procedure from the South Africa, as well as basically election of member of Rajya Sabha. Provision borrowed from Australia, concurrent list, freedom to trade and commerce and intercourse and joint sitting of the two houses. We already discussed in the question only. Now see the next question, students. The ideals of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in its. Okay, this question was in multiple examination. UKPSC, UP lower, IAS 2015 as well as 2020. So where the idea or ideal of welfare state is basically means state is going to promote everyone. Okay, means marginalized section, backward section. So welfare in economic term, in political term, in social term. So where it is included. So see, as you already know, it is included in preamble also. They are mentioning about the welfare state. Okay, but it is not enforceable. Okay, in the directive principle of state policy, students, what you find, where it is mentioned that it is for the development of the backward community. Getting it? So directive principle of state policy is right for the same, students. So idea of the welfare state in Indian Constitution enshrined in its directive principle of state policy. A welfare state is the concept of governance in which state play important role in the economic and social progress of the citizen. So the government provide various social safety nets such as unemployment benefit, okay, as well as concept of a welfare state lies in the directive principle of state policy, students. Now see the next question. It was in UPPSC and Maharashtra PSC, who said that directive principle of state policy are just like a blank check on bank payable at convenience of the bank. What does it means? Ki basically directive principle of state policy is a blank check. Okay, it is a check where once you are going to bank to encash it, it is depend on bank, they are going to give you money or not. Okay, let's suppose bank has money, they can give you. Bank don't want to give you, they are not going to give you. So it basically depend on the resources. In the same format, students, if you compare, let's suppose this is government and here the directive principle of state policy, it is here, and you reach to the government, basically means it doesn't mean they are going to provide you the same. It's depend on the government. If government want, they can give you the policies that is enshrined under the directive principle of state policy. So this statement was basically, this comment was made by Professor K.T. Shah, and it is very unique and very important for the examination. Very good, Gaurav and Shraddha. So the above statement is given by Professor K.T. Shah that the directive principle of state policy is a check that is paid at the convenience of the bank. Professor K.T. Shah was an economist. He was the member of Constituent Assembly, and Keshi was a critic of the directive principle of state policy as DPSP, neither legal mechanism and non-enforceable. Now see the next question. It was in UPSC 2002. The purpose of inclusion of directive principle of state policy in Indian Constitution to establish what? Political democracy, social democracy, Gandhian democracy, social and economic democracy, students. What is the purpose of the directive principle of state policy in our Indian Constitution, students? What is the motto? Okay, what is the motto? What we want? what we want to give to the people. As you know students, basically directive principle of state policy is included for the welfare of the state. So how the people will going to be promoted? Okay, when the government is going to create social equality, economic equality, as well as political equality. So this is social democracy, economic democracy and political democracy, but the most right and appropriate answer is going to be the social and economic democracy, students. I hope you all getting it. So answer D will be right for the same. Not only social, socio-economic democracy. In simple word we can say the same. Here you will get a very unique knowledge plus. So DPSP also aim to establish the economic democracy in India. So directive principle of state policy direct the state to work towards a just and egalitarian economic system that ensure a decent standard of living of all, and it's also direct the state to promote the welfare of people by providing adequate means of livelihood, equal pay for equal work and opportunity for the economic development, students. Now just see the explanation part. The purpose of inclusion of directive principle of state policy to establish social and economic democracy. Social democracy is a system of political thought and action that call upon the government to provide certain social and economic right or entitlements necessary to the well-being of all members of the community, students. Now this question was once again UPSC 2013. So according to the Constitution of India, which of the following are fundamental for the governance of country? Which of the following are fundamental for the governance of country? It is fundamental right, directive fundamental duties, directive principle of state policy, or fundamental right and fundamental duties. Fundamental for governance of country. Okay, fundamentals means this is needed for the direction in policy making, students. As many of you opting directive principle of state policy, I can understand कि as this chapter is DPSP, so definitely each and every answer is going to be the DPSP. Yes, you all are very correct. It is directive principle of state policy. And students, we already discussed कि these means I'm not going to narrate every time कि this is in part 4 of Indian Constitution, article 36 to 51, non-justiciable. Okay, so I'm not going to read it once, means multiple time. Okay, so yes, you all know that basically the Constitution of India, directive principle of state policy are the fundamental for the governance of country. Okay, they impose moral obligation, a very unique word, moral obligation on the state authority for their applications, but the real force behind them political and based on the public opinion. These are the constitutional instruction or recommendation to the state legislative, executive and administrative matter, students. I hope you all getting it. Okay, so if you feel doubt, just tell me, otherwise we are going to see the next question. Now one of the implication of equality in society is the absence of what we are going to remove from the society, so then everyone is going to be equal. Okay, privilege, restraint, competition, ideology. So this was in UPSC 2017. So students, if you are going to see right answer, so the privileges are the right for the same. Okay, so one of the implication of equality in the society is the absence of privileges. Equality in society means absence of privilege to any section of the society and the provision of adequate opportunities for all individuals without discrimination. So the directive principle of state policy came under article 38 to secure men and women equal pay for equal work, adequate mean of livelihood. Okay, so these all things are included here. Now this question was once again in UPSC, CSC, IAS Pre 2017. Consider the following statement with reference to the Constitution of India. Directive principle of state policy constitute limitation upon what? Legislative function as well as executive function. As I told you students, fundamental right are basically creating limitation on state activity. So create limitation, okay, and fundamental right is enforceable in court of law. But as I already told you, directive principle of state policy is not enforceable. Means you can't go to court for the implementation of any directive principle of state policy. What you find students basically, so it is not creating any type of limitation on legislative body as well as the executive body. So what you find students, which of the following is correct? So it is not creating any type of limitation on legislative function or executive function. So neither one nor two. Okay, so directive principle of state policy does not constitute any limitation upon the legislative function, executive function. Fundamental right act as a limitation on the legislative and executive function, students. So directive principle consists of all the ideals which that state should follow and keep in mind while formulating the policies and enacting the law. Okay, I hope you all getting it. Okay, no issue, Shraddha. I can understand. Yes, sometimes it is confusion, but if you if your concept is clear, then things is going to be easy. And I already told you, you have to use very simple and common you must use your common sense in the polity question, because sometimes a single comma can change the answer. Okay, it is not only for you, it is for us also, for the teachers too. Multiple times there are few questions where we also get confused, okay, and it is happened every day, okay, because polity it's look simple, but it is very dynamic. Maybe in the morning some judgment is there and I'm not aware about the same, so maybe in the evening I'm going to make some mistake. So this is important. Polity is very dynamic, you need to update it all time. Now see the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the directive principle of state policy. So the principle spells out the socio-economic democracy in the country. The provision contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. Which of the following statement is given above is correct? Now, it was in UPSC, CSC, IAS Pre 2015 and 20. So these principles spells out the socio-economic democracy in the country. We already discussed the directive principle of state policy. What it is establishing? It is establishing the socio-economic democracy in the country, students. Now, the provision contained in these principles are not enforceable by court. Now, simply you can find out, yes, both statement is correct for the same. So, both 1 and 2 is going to be a right answer. Okay, getting it? Now, just see the explanation part. So both the statement 1 and 2 are correct. So the directive principle constitute a very comprehensive economic, social and political program for the modern democratic state. They aim at realizing the high ideals of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity as outlined in the preamble of the Constitution. They embody the concept of a welfare state. In brief, they seek to establish economic and social democracy in the country, students. So the provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable in any court of law, hence it is non-justiciable in nature. Now this is about one topic of this chapter. Now we are going to see the other topic of this chapter, that is we are going to discuss about the articles in the directive principle of state policy. I hope this is visible to you. If it is not visible, I'm just hiding myself, but when it comes to the article which is in background, in my background, okay. So let's see, students, article 36, it is mentioning about the definition of state. As you see, article 12 is also mentioning about the definition of state. So it is mentioning all the body which is lawmaking and implementing body, like basically Parliament and Government of India. So Parliament is a lawmaking body, Government of India is the implementing body. Basically state legislature and government of state, as well as local authority and local government, and all the authorities under the government of India or offices under the government of India, they will be a part of the state, students. The same word is written in the Article 12 in the time of fundamental right, but there is some change. In the fundamental right under Article 12, it is mentioned that the state will not take away your fundamental right. In the directive principle of state policy, Article 36 mentioned that if state means parliament, state legislature, local authority, if they are going to create any law, they try to include the directions given under the directive principle of state policy, students. So this is about the Article 36 and 12. Okay. Now Article 37 is about the application of DPSP. Application of DPSP. So here they are mentioning that it is not going to implemented in the means it is not going to enforceable in court. So it is non-enforceable in court of law. Okay. Article 38 is connected with the welfare of people. 39, adequate mean of livelihood to all, as well as distribution of resources for common good. There is some sub clauses also, because here you will get the equal pay for equal work, equal pay for equal work, and this type of concept is included here. And then Article 39 clause 1, I think it is not visible to you, just give me a second. Okay, so what you see, students, Article 39 clause A, it was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. And why it is included? Students, basically if you see, Article 39 is about the economic justice, Article 38 is about the social justice. So how it is for the economic justice, students? What you see, Article 39 clause A, it is mentioning about the free legal aid to the poor. Okay, as you know, there is many people who can't afford an advocate. So in that case, there is a direction included under Article 39 clause A, free legal aid to the poor. So if someone poor, he or she is not able to hire an advocate, it is the duty of state to provide an advocate, but it is not enforceable. So no one will say ki means government not provided me basically this advocate. Okay, so it is not enforceable, but yes, government trying to provide. Okay, everyone. Article 40 is about the village panchayat, basically local self-government. But as you know ki now it is included under Part 9 of Indian Constitution. So there is a separate part is also created. Article 41 is very important article, students. It is basically secure right to work, right to education, public assistance for unemployed, old age, sick and disabled. Okay, so basically it is for the protection of these people, those who are marginalized in any way. Okay, 42nd is about the just and human condition of work and maternity relief. So maternity relief, now in some state it is for 6 months, some state it is for maybe it is for 3 months. And let's suppose you are in a key position and someone means anyone want to get the maternity relief and government is not in condition to release you. In that case they can deny ki means it is possible. Okay, but in the most of the cases they are trying to be liberal. Article 43 is here, secure work, living wage, social, cultural opportunity and promotion of the cottage industry. This is very important line and this question was asked by multiple times. Promotion of cottage industry included under which article? This 43 clause A was included by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act and it is basically for this secure participation of workers in the management of industries. Article 43 clause B, professional management of cooperative society, it was added by 97th Constitutional Amendment Act 2011, students. Okay, easy. And we can divide these data means in accordance with the this principle, social principle, okay, Gandhian principle and Western intellectual principle too. Okay, then Article 44, very important article, Uniform Civil Code. Goa implemented it. Okay, Uniform Civil Code for citizens. As you know, ki in every state there is a different laws for the different community, and that is not creating equality, means in the law. Sometime it is creating lots of confusion. Okay, because for different religions there is different provision. But let's suppose we are going to create a single law for everyone, so it is going to be easy. So justice is also easily available to everyone. Okay, then 45th article is about the early childhood care and education to all children until the age of 6 years. But by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, there is a free and compulsory education was added, and there is a 6 to 14 year elementary education is included. Article 46 is about the promotion of education, those who are backward socially and educationally, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other weaker section. So basically promotion of educational and economic interests. So how government can promote it? So as you know, students, government trying to give education loan, government trying to give scholarship. So what are these? These all are the included under the directive principle. Okay, and these all basically to promote their livelihood. Okay, then Manrega is also there to promote the livelihood of the people, so they can get a job, they can earn money, they will be healthy, state will be healthy. Okay, so 46 is another important article. 47 is about the rising the level of nutrition in the state. That's why government providing free ration to everyone. Standard of living, government providing house, government providing basically this pakka shauchalayas. Okay, prohibit the consumption of intoxicant drink and drug. So even Bihar, as in Bihar, basically people are started consuming alcohol a lot. So in that case, it is creating problem for their development, for their health. So Bihar government says that now just close the alcohol. Okay, then we have Article 48. So organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern line students. So there is an amendment also that took place once again by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Article 48 clause A was added to protect and improve the environment, safeguard forest and wildlife. Article 49 is here, that is about the means protect of every monument's place of historic interest. Article 50 is another important article, separation of judiciary from executive. So judiciary will not interfere in the matter of executive executive will not interfere in the matter of judiciary. Article 51 is there, that is for the promotion of international peace and security. Maintain just and honorable relation between the nation. Foster respect for in the international law. Settlement of international dispute and arbitration, students. I hope you all getting it. So this is about the outline, or you can say mind map. Now we are going to do MCQs in very detailed format and we will go little rapid. Student, right to livelihood basically envisioned in the directive principle of state policy is based on which of the following principle? Right to livelihood, okay, means job is needed for the healthy life. So what type of principle it is? So government is basically trying to provide job like Manrega. Okay, they are trying to pay equally to men and women. So what type of principle it is? So students, it is socialist principle, Gandhian principle, liberal principle or anarchic principle. What you find? By promoting job to those who are not doing business and all, basically this word is not there. Basically this right to livelihood means everyone has right to work, okay, right to earn money. So it is means it is not possible, every means those who are in this session also, in this class also, students, you all preparing for the examination, okay, but even many of you may not working, okay. So but government trying to promote everyone by providing reservation, by creating some policy. So what type of principle you will call it? So it will be called as socialist principle, not Gandhian principle. It is socialist principle, because government trying to do the social justice. So those who are backward, government is trying to promote them. So it is a type of social principle, students. Okay. So right to livelihood envisioned in the directive principle of state policy based on the socialist principle. According to Article 39 of the directive principle of state policy, men and women equally have right to an adequate mean of livelihood. Very good, Gaurav, Shraddha, you all doing well. Now see the next question. The directive principle of state policy may be classified into which of the following part for the sake of convenient study. Directive principle of state policy may be classified into in which of the following part for the sake of convenient study. It was in UPPSC. Students, it is not included in the constitution. Whenever you see the question, it is included in the constitution. No, we divided according to the basically this policies where it is originated, who demanded, like socialist principle, welfare of the people, Gandhian principle, what Gandhiji ideology was there, liberal and intellectual principle. So what you find, these all three are correct. We can divide into this format too. Okay, so option D is right for the same. I'm just going to read it. So the directive principle of state policy classified into socialist, liberal, intellectual and Gandhian principle for the sake of convenient study. However, constitution does not contain any classification of directive principle. Socialist principle lay down the framework of a democratic society state which aim to providing the social and economic justice and set the path toward the welfare state. I hope you all get it. Okay, liberal intellectual principle are included toward the ideology of liberalism. Gandhian principle is based on the Gandhian ideology and represent the program of reconstruction initiated by the Gandhi during the national movement in order to fulfill the dream of the Gandhi students. Now see, this question was in UPSC IAS pre. See, read it carefully. Okay, what you find, which one of the following statement in regard to the directive principle of state policy is not correct. Whenever you read a question, try to be there, okay, with your brain. Otherwise, your concept, you know the right fact, you know the right concept. If you not read the right data, definitely it is going to create problem. So if you read it, so which of the following is not correct for the directive principle of state policy? Now, directive principles are not enforceable in court of law. So you say, yes sir, it is correct. Now, they can override, directive principle of state policy can override all the fundamental right. Okay, directive principle of state right can be related to social and economic justice, and it can be related to giving free legal aid. Now students, read it carefully. It is not enforceable in court of law. You say yes sir. It is for the free legal aid under Article 39 Clause A. For the social and economic justice, it is included here. Not enforceable. Not correct. So it is correct now. Directive principle of state policy is not enforceable in court of law. So it is correct. And what they are asking, which is of the following is not correct. I hope Shraddha, you got the right answer. Means right this concept. Student, as there was a case also where Supreme Court mentioned that basically fundamental right is cannot override by DPSP, but later it says that in the Champak Durai Rajan versus state of Maharashtra, directive principle of state policy means here they mention that it cannot override, but later they said that they can override, but in not all condition, in few condition. So if this word is not here, all, then this is also a right statement, but they can override all. No, they can override few fundamental right, then it is okay. So statement B is incorrect. Getting it? That's why I told you in polity we have to check each and every word and it must at the right place. Okay, now I'm just going to give you the explanation. Statement B is not correct regarding the DPSP because in the Champak Durai Rajan versus State of Maharashtra, Supreme Court held that DPSP cannot override the provision of Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, that is fundamental right. Okay, now it was once again in UPSC. So with reference to the provision contained in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, which of the following statement is correct? Okay, so statement are correct. They are enforceable by court of law. You say no sir, DPSP is non-enforceable. They shall not be enforceable by court of law. So statement 2 is correct. The principle laid down in the part are influence the making of law by the state. So the DPSP provision is there. It is basically giving direction to the state to make law students. So what you see, what is right answer for the same? Okay, so statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 and statement 3 is correct. So if you see the option, what you find students, state means option D is right for the same. I'm just giving, means we already discussed about the same, but I'm just giving explanation for a better understanding. Okay, and as I already told you, basically this is included under the book, that is by the Arihant, Prelims Possible. Okay everyone, so statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, and part 4 of Indian Constitution deals with the DPSP and it is not enforceable in court of law. So DPSP is a fundamental in the governance of the country and it shall be the duty of the state apply these principles in making law. DPSPs are positive obligation on the state, though not enforceable in court of law. The principle laid down in this part are influence and the making law by the state students. Okay, so statement 1 is incorrect because we already discussed that DPSP is not enforceable, and what they are mentioning it is enforceable in court of law. So statement 1 is going to be incorrect. I hope you all getting it. Okay, so now just move to the next question, that is 5th question, and it was in Assam PSC in year 2013. So which one of the following is not a part of directive principle of state policy? That is a right against exploitation, right to work, right to education, right to public assistance in the case of unemployment. Not a part of directive principle of state policy, students. Right against exploitation, right to work, right to education, right to public assistance in the case of unemployment, students. Okay, right to work, I told you under Article 41. Okay, right to education under Article 45 is there. Okay, right to public assistance in case of unemployment. Okay, so there's a 41. Okay, in the means basically under this government is trying to provide assistance, but right against exploitation is a fundamental right under Article 23 and 24. So statement A is not part of DPSP. I am waiting for your answers. Okay, I am waiting for your answers too. Getting it? Now just let's move to the next question. But before that, here, the right against exploitation is the part of fundamental right under Article 23 and 24. So it is not the part of DPSP. Getting it? Now, see the next question, question number 6. It was in UP ROARO. It was in UPPSC 2017. Which one of the following is not the objective of DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy? To establish a welfare state, not the objective of Directive Principle of State Policy, not the objective. So establish a welfare state, to ensure the socio-economic justice, to establish a religious state, or to establish a secular state. What is means here, which is not the objective of our DPSP? Read it. Okay, and once you see, these questions are very easy. So yes, it is mentioning about the welfare state, it is mentioning about the socio-economic justice, it is mentioning about the secular state, but it don't want to create the religious state students. Okay, so to establish a religious state is not the objective of the DPSP students. So objective of the DPSP to establish socio-economic equality by providing the guiding principle to the state making law, and not to build a religious state students. So forming a religious state is not mentioned anywhere in the constitution. Rather, it is opposite to the basic feature of Indian polity of with which is secularism students. Now, how are the directive principle of state policy different from the fundamental right? It was in UPSC pre-2009. So former is for union government and latter is for the state government. Okay, former is a part of constitution where latter is not. Directive principle is not enforceable where fundamental right is enforceable in court of law, or none of the above. So you all are very correct, Dinesh, Devjyoti and Shraddha. Okay, so directive principle is enforceable or not enforceable? It is not enforceable. Fundamental right, it is enforceable in court of law, and we already discussed multiple times. I just added here explanation too. So DPSP are different from the fundamental right as directive principle is not enforceable where fundamental right is enforceable. So some other differences between the DPSP and fundamental right is as follows. As I already discussed, the fundamental right aim to establish the political democracy in the country, where the directive principle is tried to establish the socio and economic democracy in the country. Okay, so fundamental right promote the welfare of individual, it is available to individual, and directive principle is basically based on the principle of welfare of the state, and it is community based. Hello Dinesh, how your job is going on? Okay, I hope you all doing well. Now we are going to see the another question that was in UPSC IAS 2021. Under the Indian Constitution, concentration of wealth is the violation of what? Let's suppose students, even it is happening. Let's suppose 100 rupees is here, and out of 100 rupees, 99 rupees is acquired by Adani and Ambani. I'm just giving an example, don't take it politically. Okay, so and 1 rupee is available to other citizens. So let's suppose the population is 1000 or 10,000. So 2% getting 99 rupees and 9,998 person have to share in 1 rupee. So in that case, students, there will be social differences. Okay, so what do you find, students? So concentration of wealth is basically violating what? Right to equality, directive principle of state policy, right to freedom, or concept of welfare. Okay, see, so as concept of welfare is here, but welfare means government is trying to provide assistance to them, okay, as well as to promote them, but here it is violating the directive principle. So it is mentioned under Article 39 clause B, clause C. Basically state try to reduce the or remove the concentration of wealth. Okay, so option B is going to be right for the same. Okay, so just try to see it, it is going to be important. Now UPRO pre 2014, which of the following directive principle of state policy was added to the constitution at later date? Means it was included later, means after the implementation of constitution. So as 26 January 1950 is there. Okay, after that it was amended and it was added. So what you see, basically organization of village panchayat, it is under Article 40 of Indian Constitution. Basically prohibition of cow slaughtering under Article 48, free legal aid under Article 39 clause A, uniform civil code under Article 44. Article 39 clause A was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. It means that this option C means free legal aid provision was added later in the constitution, students. Getting it? So option C will be right for the same. Okay, we already discussed Article 39 Clause A. So there is a 4 new DPSP was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. So Article 39 to secure opportunities for healthy development of children's youth. Article 39 Clause A to promote the equal justice and free legal aid to the poor. 43 Clause A to step to secure the participation of worker in the management. And Article 48 Clause A to improve the environment and safeguard the forest and wildlife. Now to the next question. Equal pay for equal work has been ensured in Indian Constitution as one of the equal pay for equal work. So male and women will get the equal salary if they are doing on the same, means if they are working on the same post. So what you see, student, but there may be partiality. So it is the part of DPSP. Okay, it is up to the state what they want to give. So directive principle of state policy is here. Okay. It is the economic right now. So, but yes, it is under the DPSP students. Equal pay for equal work. It is included under Article 39 Clause D. Okay. So this is also very important. Now, see the next question. It was in UPSC pre-2014. And consider the following right of citizens: right to legal ad, free legal ad, right to equal pay for equal work, right to establish and maintain institution of religion and charitable purpose, and right to decent standard of living. Now, which of the following is above is non-justiciable? Non-justiciable. Okay. Non-justiciable. So, right to free legal ad, Article 39 Clause A, right to equal pay for equal work, 19 Clause D, and basically religious instruction is here. Right to establish and maintain religious institution, that is the part of Article 30. Right to decent standard of living, that is the part of 47. So if you see these three provision, it is the part of the DPSP, and DPSP is not enforceable in court of law. Article 30 is the part of fundamental right. It is basically it is enforceable in court of law. Okay. So which of the following is not justiciable, students? Just opt the right answer for the same. Okay. So what you find, statement means on the basis of a statement we can go with the option C. Yes, I am correct. Okay, everyone. So right mentioned in the statement 1, 2 and 4 are non-justiciable, and DPSP as non-justiciable in nature, so they are not legally enforceable by court of law for their violation, students. I hope you all getting it. Now see the next question. It was in Maharashtra PSC 2016. Which one of the following statement with regard to Article 43 of the Indian Constitution is not correct? Article 43 of the Indian Constitution is not correct. So it provides for a right to work and just and human working condition. It provides for promotion of cottage industry in rural area. It provides for full enjoyment of leisure, social, cultural opportunity for the workers, or none of the above, students. Okay, choose the right answer. Okay, so if you know the Article 40 means 43, then you can find the right answer. So what you see, it provides for the right to work and just and human condition. So as you know, students, just and human condition, it is under Article 42 of Indian Constitution. I told you promotion of cottage industry, it is included under Article 43, as well as it provides for full enjoyment of leisure, social and cultural opportunities for the worker, as well as there was a provision was also added under Article 43 Clause A, that is participation of worker in the management. So it is also the part of 43. So if you go with the statement A, it is not under Article 43, students. Okay, I hope you all getting it. So statement A is correct for the same. Okay, is not correct because Article 43 directs the state shall endeavor to promote the cottage industry on individual or cooperative basis. Article 42 state about the just and human condition of work and maternity relief students. Okay, now see the next question, question number 13. It was in Maharashtra PSC. Which of the following directive principle did not form part of the original constitution and were added through constitutional amendment? So this is that when constitution was implemented on 26 January 1950, at that time this was not there, means it was added later by constitutional amendment. So to minimize inequality in income, article 39 is here. Okay, so to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife, article 48 clause A, equal pay for equal work to both men and women. Okay, to both men and women, article 39 clause D, to ensure equal justice and free legal aid, article 39 clause A, to secure adequate mean of livelihood to all citizens, article 39, or you can say clause A, as well as basically article 41 is also mentioning about the assistant in the some working condition. So minimize inequality of income, it was also added later. So if you go with the option students, this 4, article 39, 48, it was added later. So if you go with the option, what you find, statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4 is correct for the same. So D is going to be most appropriate and right answer for the same students. Now read it. So directive principle of state policy under part 4 of Indian Constitution, but there are few articles added later in the DPSP, like by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act under article 38 of Indian Constitution, minimize inequality of income, status, facility and opportunity. It was added by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. There is 42nd Amendment, and that is mentioning about the article 48 clause A. Okay, and then we have, there is a article 39 clause A, it was added by once again 42nd Amendment. I hope you are getting it. Now see, we have the Jammu Kashmir PSC question in 2023. So which of the following DPSP were added after the adoption of the Indian Constitution to promote equal justice and provide free legal aid to the poor? Article 39 clause A, to take a step to secure the participation of worker in management of industries, article 43 clause A, to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife, article 48 clause A. So what you find, students, this was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. It is also added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, and 48A is also added by the same. So if you choose the right code, this all 1, 2, 3 is right for the same, and you all participating well. Very good Dinesh, very good Shraddha, very good Amrit, you all doing well. So statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct with respect to the directive principle of state policy. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 added for DPSP and to promote the equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor under article 39 clause A, students. Getting it? Very good. Now see the next question, that is in West Bengal Civil Services 2019. 86th Constitutional Amendment Act year 2002 of India altered the DPSP of Indian Constitution to provide for. So as you know, students, 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, it is connected with the education. So it is modified under article 21A, it is added. Article 51 clause A subclause K is added, that is duty to education, and early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years, where it made modification. State to provide free legal aid, encourage village panchayat, prohibiting intoxicant drink. What you find, students, here the 6 to 14 year education, elementary education made compulsory. So it was modified in this statement, statement 1. I hope you all getting it. Now, 86th Amendment of Indian Constitution altered DPSP Article 45 to provide for early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. Later, what you see, students, it is also inserted in Article 21A, okay, and basically here it made compulsory education for the children who is between the age 6 to 14. Okay, along with that, it also added the duty to education. So this is important. Now, under the DPSP Article 45, by adding new provision to it that focus on education of children below the age 6 years and early childhood care students. Okay, now see the next question. It was in UPPSC 2009 and 19. Which article of the Constitution of India has provision of participation of worker in management of industry? So Article 43, Article 43A, 45 and 47. Now you all know Article 43 is for the promotion of cottage industry. Okay, Article 43A was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, and what is the provision? To basically promote and participation of workers in the management of an industry. Okay, 45 is connected with the early childhood care and 6 to 14 year age compulsory education. Article 47 is about the standard of living promotion, medical, basically simply you can say basically standard of living promotion here. So statement B is right for the same. Okay everyone, so we already discussed. Okay, now under the Constitution of India, organization of village panchayat is a. Organization of village panchayat is a. It is fundamental right, fundamental duty and directive principle of state policy, none of the above. So initially it was, means even it is under Article 40, and 40 is ranging between the Article 36 to 51. So it is a DPSP of Indian Constitution, students. Okay, getting it? Great everyone. Okay, Panchayati Raj system in India is laid down under what? Fundamental right, fundamental duties, DPSP or Election Commission Act. So it is under the DPSP, students. Okay, we already discussed multiple times, so I'm not going to make it multiple times, students. Okay, now this question is going to be interesting because it was in UPSC year 2012 IAS pre. Consider the following provision under the directive principle of state policy as enshrined in the Constitution of India. Securing for citizen of India a uniform civil code, okay, organization of village panchayat, promotion of cottage industry, securing for all the workers reasonable leisure and cultural opportunity. So which of the following is included under the, means which of the above are Gandhian principle that reflect in the DPSP of state policy, students? Now Gandhian principle, what Gandhiji want? Gandhiji want the formation of village panchayat. Gandhiji want the rural people must get the livelihood. So promotion of cottage industry. So Gandhiji said that the rural people or the workers also get the proper respect. But uniform civil code, students, under Article 44 is a Western liberal intellectual principle, students. So what you see 2, 3 and 4, it is mentioning about the Gandhian principle. Okay, so which of the following is enshrined there? Okay, students, basically if we see, basically the worker reasonable leisure and cultural opportunities, it will be the part of the social social principle also. Okay, but in the pure format of the Gandhian principle, we can see the village panchayat and promotion of cottage industry, and basically cow slaughtering ban and these type of thing will be here. So we can, means the most appropriate will be B. Okay, because sometimes we have to choose according to option also. Okay, so the most appropriate is going to be second and third, means B, and it was in UPSC 2012. As I told you, in UPSC they are giving questions, means it's look very easy, but there are some concept. Okay, so directive principle of state policy incorporated to attain the ultimate ideal in the preamble, that is justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Getting it? Okay, easy. See, one very important thing in the 19th question, if you see ki, means as I told you, we need to go with the option. Let's suppose we are going to, one is, if anywhere one is there, it is going to be incorrect automatically, because it is about the uniform civil code. Gandhiji never mentioned about the uniform civil code. So A, C and D automatically is going to be wrong. So you have to use your common sense also. So by using the common sense, you can get the right answer. Getting it? So article 20, the question number 20 is here. So the directive principle of state policy, the state is supposed to secure within the limit of its economic capacity and development the following: economic capacity and development. Okay, so right to work, a living wage, public assistance in the case of sickness, maternity relief, and just and human condition for all. So what you find, students, if state has economic capacity, then they are going to provide you right to work here, as well as living wages, public assistance in the case of sickness like Ayushman Bharat Yojana, maternity relief is also there, just and human condition of work. So all is going to be correct for this. Okay, so all the statement 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are correct. Okay, so basically state is supposed to secure within the limit of its economic capacity and development right to work, to education, public assistance in the case of unemployment, old age, sickness, basically disablement came under Article 41, as well as to secure a living wages under Article 43, make provision for just and human condition under Article, okay, easy, under Article 42, students. Getting it? Now we have 21st question, and you have to match list 1 with the list 2. Select the correct answer from the code given below. Equality before law, right to work, just and human condition of work, free and compulsory education. It is in the list 1, and in the list 2 they added article. Equality before law and equal protection of law, as you know, it is under Article 14. So if you see the third, so A3, right to work, okay, it is included under Article 41. So B4, just and human condition of work as well as maternity relief under Article 42. So C1, and free and compulsory education for the children, it is included under 45. So D2. So 3, 4, 1, 2. So option B is right for the same, students. So we already discussed about the same. Do you guys need explanation on that matter? Just tell me in the comment box, then I will go with the same. We already discussed. Okay, now which one of the following is not matched correctly? Here one side is subject and another side related article. So separation of judiciary from executive, Article 50, because sometime repetition means it's create means I just got bored with repeating same the sentence DPSP. Okay, and even after listening you also feel the same. Okay, so this is correct. Promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe under Article 46, you'll say that it is also correct. The promotion of cooperative society under Article 43, clause B. Okay, D says that organization of village panchayat, Article 40. So D is also correct, which is not correctly matched Article, this statement C, students, statement C. Okay, promotion of educational and economic interest for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and backward community under Article 46. Okay, getting it? So C is not correctly matched because 97th Constitutional Amendment Act 2011 provided and added an article 43 clause B as a new DPSP for the cooperative society. It required the state to promote the voluntary formation, autonomous functioning, democratic control and professional management of cooperative societies under Article 43 clause B. Okay everyone, easy. Now see the next question. It is once again match list 1 to list 2, and there is an article also. Okay, so list 1 is about the provision, list 2 is about the article. Organization of village panchayat, promotion of international peace and security, uniform civil code, equal justice and free legal aid. I hope you all remember this article, but yes, just go with the option. Okay, if we see organization of village panchayat under article 40, so list 2 3 A3, promotion of international peace and security article 51, it is list 2 fourth option. Uniform civil code under article 44, so 1 and D 2. So 3 4 1 2 is option C is going to be right for the same students. So these all data we already discussed. Now see that 24th question. Which one of the following is wrongly paired? Obligations for the state, it was in Tamil Nadu PSC, for the state and individual to protect environment. Article 48 clause A. Early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 14 years. 45. Separation of judiciary, wrongly paired. Separation of judiciary from executive in the public services, Article 39. As you know, Article 39 is about the economic justice, okay, and separation of judiciary from executive under Article 50 students. So this statement 3 is incorrect. Voluntary formation, autonomous functioning of cooperative society under Article 43 clause A, sorry, clause B. Article 44 is about uniform civil code. So automatically this fourth statement is also incorrect. So we can go with the statement means option D. Okay. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Just give me a second, I have to pick and call. Okay, so sorry, there was a call. So I hope you understand it. Option D is going to be right for the same. Okay, now see the next question. Which of the following statement is or are included in the DPSP, and it was in UPSC 2008? Prohibition of traffic in human being and forced labor, prohibition of consumption except for medical purpose of intoxication, drink and other drug which are injurious to health. Okay, so human trafficking and forced labor students, it is included under Article 23 of fundamental right. So only statement 2 is going to be right for the same. Okay, I hope you all include. So prohibition of consumption except for medical purpose of intoxicating drink or other drug which are injurious to health is a directive principle under the Article 47 of Indian Constitution. Statement 1 is incorrect because it is a fundamental right under Article 23. So which one of the following DPSP, UPSC, UPPSC, GIC is a DPSP students? So Uniform Civil Code, Article 44, freedom to press 19 clause 1 subclause A. Okay, freedom to religion, it is not mentioned explicitly, but yes, it is a part of same. Freedom to religion 25 to 28, equality before law 14. So what you see students, Uniform Civil Code is a part of the directive principle of state policy. Getting it? Which article of Indian Constitution deals the Uniform Civil Code. We already discussed multiple times. What it is, it's Article 44 of Indian Constitution, students. Okay. Now, which of the following was not added to directive principle by 42nd Amendment of the Constitution? So, protection of children and youth from exploitation. It was in UPSC 2017 too. So, Equal Justice and Free Legal Act, 39 Clause A. Uniform Civil Code, Article 44. Participation of worker in management industry, Article 43 Clause A. Okay. So, you see, basically it is under 39. So, what you find, Uniform Civil Code was already there. It is not included. Okay. So, automatically statement C is going to write for the same. Otherwise, all other was added later. Now, which of the following statement are mentioned under the DPSP? Securing a social order for the promotion of welfare of people, organization of agriculture and animal husbandry, provision of giving opportunity and facility to the children for their development in healthy manner, and fourth statement, provision of property, which is mentioned under the DPSP. Okay, which is mentioned under the DPSP. Securing the, just give me a second, students. So, what I was saying, basically under this question, securing of a social order for the promotion of welfare of people, it is included. Organization of agriculture and animal husbandry is there, and provision of giving opportunity and facilities of children for their development in a healthy manner. Provision of property is not included, so statement C is going to be right for the same, students. Now, it was in UPPSC year 2017. With reference to the National Legal Service Authority, consider the following statement. Okay, it is the objective is to provide free legal and competent legal service to the weaker section of the society on the basis of equal opportunity. It issues guideline for the State Legal Service Authority to implement the legal program and schemes throughout the country to make people aware, as well as they can also get the justice. So, in this format, students, both statement is correct. And now see here. So, both the statement 1 and 2 are correct about the National Legal Service Authority, LALSA. Under Article 39 Clause A, it was added by 42nd Amendment of the DPSP, and it should promote equal justice and provide free legal aid to the poor. Under this guidance, the Legal Service Authority Act 1987 has established a nationwide network to provide free and competent legal aid to the poor for promoting equal opportunity. It shall also issue guidelines to the State Legal Services Authority to implement the scheme through the Lok Adalat, students. Now see the next question. It was in UPSC IAS Pre 2002. Now, which of the following article of the DPSP deals with the promotion of international peace and security? So we already know it is for the Article 51 is about the international peace and security. Article 48 Clause A, that is for the protection of forest and wildlife. Article 43 basically participation of workers in the management, and right to work and public assistant in certain cases under Article 41. So A is correct for the same, students. Now, in the Constitution of India, promotion of international peace and security included where? Where it is included, students? Okay, just opt the right answer. So as you know, it is under Article 51. So it is the directive principle of state policy. We already discussed multiple times. Now, Constitution is a silent in directive principle about living wages for worker, legal aid to poor, compulsory primary education and adult education. So where DPSP is silent, if you see, living wages for the worker is included there. Okay, legal ad is already there, compulsory primary education is there. So okay, so adult education is not included there. So option D is going to be right for the same students. Now, in India, the separation of judiciary from executive is enjoyed by the preamble of Indian Constitution, DPSP, as it is under Article 50 of Indian Constitution. So automatically it is the part of the directive principle of state policy. With reference to the Constitution of India, consider the following. It was in UPSC pre-2010. Fundamental right, fundamental duties and directive principle of state policy. So which of the following above provision of Indian Constitution are fulfilled by National School Assistant Program launched under the Government of India? So if you see, my voice is okay. You can search my name, current affair and general awareness by Indrjeet Sir. You can get my Telegram ID. Okay. Okay. So what you find, students, here, see, directive principle of state policy is for the assistant program. Okay, so basically only option 3 is going to, no, it is only option 3, is only statement 3 is right for the same. Okay, now which of the following is not included in the DPSP of state policy? Okay, so prohibition of liquor, right to work, equal wages for equal work and right to information. So as you know, students, prohibition of liquor under Article 47, right to work Article 41, equal wage for equal work Article 39 Clause D, right to information is the part of fundamental right under Article 19 Clause 1 subclause A, students. Now this will be your homework. Read it carefully and give the answer in the comment box. Okay, now this is all about the today's session, students. Okay, and as I already told you, basically this session is based on this book Prelims Possible, especially published by Arihant, and these are the subjects that is available everywhere. So you can go with the history, polity, geography, economics, science and tech with the same Prelims Possible series. Thank you so much for joining and listening. We'll meet soon. Take care. Have a great day.